So we're going to go through a few hip flexor release exercises today. I'm going to go through 3 different options. It may be that you work through them as a sequence if things are feeling particularly tight. One starts off being more sort of position and then we build up in terms of intensity. It may be that you just pick and choose what suits you best. I would say you always want to do this along with some form of sort of strengthening of the back of the body. So you might choose to do this along with a sort of bridge type exercise, something that works your hamstrings, your glutes, that kind of thing as well. And you'll notice that the last 2 kind of work these as well, but I would always kind of incorporate a little bit of strength into things as well. Okay, so I'll talk you through. First exercise is down on the ground. We're going to use my trusty sidekick, the plinth, for a lot of these, but for the first exercise we don't need this. So we're going to come into a split kneel position. Now you will probably automatically come into this and then your spine will become banana shaped because things are a little bit tight around the front of the hip. We're going to back off that shape first of all. So we're going to kind of back off that tightness and we're going to get our hands onto our pelvis. So we kind of notice where we're at with our pelvis. So we're going to have a play around with kind of, are we tipping forwards, are we tipping back? And we're going to try and engage our glutes and just do a little bit of a sort of tuck under and forwards of our pelvis. Now that might feel as though it already opens up the front of the hip a little bit. In this position that might feel like quad, it might feel like hip flexor, but we want to feel like our spine becomes a little bit longer. Maybe our tailbone tucks down and as though that's actively driven by our buttock muscle pushing us forwards. Now in this position we might also feel like we use our tummy muscles a little bit as well, just to be a bit more active in that position. So I might do a little bit of back off, tuck, and then I'm going to move forwards into a little bit of a stretch position. I'm going to come back, I'm going to tuck, I'm going to squeeze buttock. So I'm teaching my body that my buttock is what drives my hip forwards, rather than hip flexor leading the way. We're going to back off again, tuck, squeeze, and come forwards again. You might do 8 to 10 reps of that. Okay, I'm just going to shift the camera so you can see what I'm doing for the next one. Okay, so next one I'm going to place a chair or a bench or something in front of my knee or in front of my shin. So I'm going to be in a split leg position. Feel free to soften the back knee because you'll notice that as soon as you straighten you then become banana shaped again. So soften that back knee and then I'm just going to reach that back leg down towards the floor, but the plinth or the chair or the bench is stopping me from shifting forwards. So it's meaning that I can't come forwards into my lunge, I have to go down. Now including that little bit of a buttock tuck as well, you should find that you get a nice sensation of tightness or length coming down through into your quad as well. The deeper you get down, the more it's quad, the higher up, the more it's hip flexor, okay? And just keep that sense of length coming through our back. And this is where it's quite nice to do these as a set, because you build up the level of difficulty, but you keep that sense of glute driving, lower back lengthened. So the last exercise we're going to do, we're now going to put our foot up on dining room chair, bench, whatever you choose. So this could be something you do when you're out and about, the last 2. So it could be that you choose a park bench or something like that. So I'm going to place my front foot up on the bench, the plinth, the chair, wherever. I'm then going to push up nice and tall, up and out of the ball of my foot. So rather than letting my heel be down, so I'm back into my back leg, I'm going to drive up and out of that foot. So I'm going to be pushing really actively through the ball of my foot, big toe, all 5 of my toe pads, in order to feel like my whole body becomes really active here. So in this position I'm feeling calf, I'm feeling hamstring, I'm feeling glute, I'm feeling abs. So everything is powering up. And then I'm just going to be stabilising myself in my front leg. So again, we want to think about that glute push forwards, spine staying nice and long. Now in that position, my hands are going to disappear because I can't get the camera far enough away, but I could either do a bit of a reach up, so I can do a bit of a reach up and lengthen, that feels very abby. I could do a reach up and then a side bend, and I could also do a bit of a twist. So again, that will feel really nice, especially twisting away from that hip Feels lovely around my hip flexor as well. But this is a nice one for running. It's a nice one for kind of waking up the muscles that are going to open up the front of the hip, but also nice for getting a bit of a stretch through the front of the hip as well. So give those a go, see how you get on with them. You know, you can always email me if you've got any extra questions or anything you're not too sure about. But yeah, have a play, see what suits you. Either do them all in sequence or pick a couple that really work well for you. Enjoy!